Let us pray. Shine into our hearts the light of your wisdom, O God, and open our minds to the knowledge of your word, that in all things we might think and act according to your will, and may live continually in the light of your Son, Jesus Christ, who lives and reigns with you and the Holy Spirit, one God, now and forever. Amen. Amen. Please be seated. So before we listen to the readings for today, I want to say a couple of things, because we do have a few guests that are coming. And that's this. As you hear these readings, there's a few things going on in them, but I think they center on one thing, really. So we are at Epiphany, in this season of wonder and discovery and aha moments. And each of these readings kind of illuminates that a little bit differently. So in the first reading from Isaiah, what's at stake is light that's coming. So you know when God arrives, when the dawn breaks, when the light enters, when it shines on all people, when it doesn't matter where you are or where you're from, it comes and enters, and you can't ignore it, it's here. When light breaks in, you know that God's present. In the psalm that we recite back and forth today, it's about justice, which is not just about fairness, it's about the compassion that we show to one another. And it's about the love that we bring to all people in the common humanity that we share. In the gospel reading from Matthew, it's a familiar story. It's the story of the wise guys, the wise men who come from afar. And it's the star. Now, as modern people, when you think of a star, you start to ask all kinds of astronomical questions, like what was it? Was it a comet or some kind of bright light or something? Matthew's not interested in that, in the way that he tells this story. It's about the openness and the wonder of those travelers from a long, faraway land that come to behold what God is doing. And in the midst of meeting King Herod and encountering the Holy Family, they also are open because they hear God speaking to them in a dream. And it's a reminder to us, I think, that God meets us in all kinds of different ways. And one of the things this season gives us is an opportunity to refresh ourselves in that. And then there's this reading from Paul's letter to the Ephesians, where he is in prison, where he probably literally is sitting in the dark. And he is reflecting on what it means to be a servant of Christ and this good news. And in the midst of all the things that are going on in his life that you would think are terrible, he has a lot to say about hope. And this season also is a reminder for us of the hope that we have and the faith that we share. So one of the things I was thinking about as I was listening to these readings myself this week and thinking about the wise men coming and what signs do we look for, is the question I have for us to just kind of dwell in for a little bit is, how do you know if you're on track? How do you know if you're doing the right thing? How do you know if you're going the right direction? And these things kind of give us clues along the way. Now, some of the things we look to in our own lives, just because we're good modern people. I brought props to it. So the first thing is a map. So if you, first of all, orientate the map correctly. But, if you can find yourself on a map, then you kind of know where you are. And particularly in a time where it feels like a lot of us, or the people around us, are kind of lost and searching as to where they fit. Maps can be helpful. Now, I'll remember, not to put you on the spot, Joe, but when Joe was younger, the first time he looked at the atlas that we had in the car, he said, wow, it's like all the lines from the GPS connect. Isn't that kind of where we are? Doesn't it feel like, what line am I on, actually? And how does it relate to everything else? So a map can be helpful for us in that regard, but it doesn't tell the whole story, right? It's just one piece. Another place we orient ourselves, I think, is in the news, right? So a lot of us probably consume a little bit too much news. Here's the local news. This tells us about all the things that are going on in the community, including the huge concert we had here last night. But, it gives you information. So sometimes we think maybe if I have the right information, I'll have a good handle on the world in which I'm living. And sometimes we don't ask the hard questions like, what is this information coming from? Who's saying it? Why are they saying it? Is there an agenda behind it? Is it pushing me a certain way? We don't ask that too often, I don't think. But news sometimes can do that to us. So again, it's helpful, but it's not complete. Then there's the crown. It's not just about Burger King and having it your way, although I think that's a good motto for our time, isn't it? But the life that we live together in our political landscape, it certainly gives us some direction. And I think one of the problems with the way that we live within our political structures is we listen to some people and we don't listen to others, or we automatically eliminate people because we think we disagree with them. And it, again, is incomplete. We don't ask the hard questions behind the information we're getting, or the statements people are making, or the actions they're taking, and really ask good questions sometimes, and it leaves a lot of us scratching our heads as to how we got to where we are. But again, it's one piece of the bigger human puzzle we're a part of, but it's not the whole story, is it? And then, of course, we have this little device that you may have seen once or twice, that a lot of you are probably carrying in your pocket or your pocketbook. I mean, this is an enormous tool that we have to function in our world today. But it's also, in a lot of ways, kind of unprecedented to have access to as much stuff as we have now. Just to go back to the maps thing, on my phone I think I have 4 different GPS programs. Do I need any of them? Probably not, but they're all there. I can access them anytime I want. At the same time, you've got sitting in your pocket or your pocketbook something that is much more powerful than what we used to get to the moon and back. How about that? Kind of interesting. And access to more information than anybody has had in the history of humanity, and we're still not sure how that actually affects us yet. And think of the influence that that has on each of us and how we live. So back to these readings and just what they might lead us towards. So as you hear them in a minute or so, dwell on them a little bit. Because they point us to something beyond these. I mean, light that breaks into our world. To seek God there, wherever there's darkness, and light emerges. This could be a place where God is. Or to think about those places in all the news stories we see and all the things that we know are going around us where people are being treated poorly, and then you see a moment when someone has love for another person. God is breaking in there. And to think of those other things that we don't usually discredit or we don't think about that much, but those wise men from the East, their openness to the world around them, are we open to experience the world around us in the ways that we often overlook, or the people we often overlook, and the experiences we often overlook, for the sake that God might be trying to show us something in these interactions. And at the same time, wherever there's hope, even a sliver, when it shouldn't be there, in that moment, God is present. So look for that. And I would say dwell on that and ask yourself, as you're thinking about it, am I on the right track? Where am I oriented right now? Am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right place? Is God moving me in the right direction? It's that openness to where God might be reaching us that this time can be all about. So let's hear those readings and dwell on them.